Vladimir Putin, you think he's a killer?
I do.
So what price must he pay?
The price he's going to pay, well, you'll see shortly. We had a long talk, he and I. I know him relatively well. And the conversation started off, I said, I know you and you know me. If I establish this occurred, then be prepared.
You said you know he doesn't have a soul.
Well, I did say that to him, yes. And his response was, we understand one another.
Well, Glenn Carle is a former US intelligence officer and foreign policy expert. He's joining us from Boston. Glenn, thanks for joining us on the programme. What do you make, firstly, of President Biden's strong message to Putin, and secondly, of Moscow's reaction that it wants to, it says, prevent an irreversible deterioration in relations?
Well, the report, Biden's comments and the new U.S. posture is buttressed or based on a report made public written by the National Intelligence Council. And that's dear to my heart since I worked there for years and wrote many of the reports just like the one that we're talking about. And so I have more than high confidence. I have no doubt whatsoever that the conclusions are accurate and substantiated by many facts. So what does it signal? That we don't have someone who is literally a traitor in the White House and who apologizes for anything that Russia does or justifies it. We now have a president who is in the mainstream of American foreign policy tradition and who will speak out against a nation that seems to harm U.S. interests, which is the case.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Trump famously dismissed the CIA's assessment, didn't he, that Russia interfered in the election in order to swing it in Donald Trump's favour. I mean, this is a very different message now. Trump said he respected Putin. Biden is sending a very different message.
Yes, yes. Well, I was surprised and saddened, but educated quickly decades ago at the end of the Cold War, thinking that there was a chance, really, that Russia would act rather than in a Cold War manner, but in an approach that didn't believe everything was a zero-sum equation. And in fact, I found that the ministries and the bureaucracies in Russia never reformed. And so Russia's approach has always been that what is bad for the United States is good for Russia, rather than possibly there can be mutual benefit, really. And Biden is calling that out. Now, as to Russia's response, it's sort of standard diplomatic response. Of course, the country's not going to say, well, yes, we interfered. We're going to say, oh, we lament the deterioration in relations. And of course, we want good relations. But, so it's so unfortunate that you, the United States, are causing problems. When, in fact, it was the Russians providing disinformation to President Trump's close advisors, such as Rudy Giuliani and so on.
So when Joe Biden says consequences, what do you think he means when he says that there will be consequences for Putin for meddling?
Right. Well, this is the delicate question, is that it's in everybody's interest that the United States and Russia move forward together on various issues, such as nuclear arms control and regional stability, if that is possible, be it the Middle East or in Europe. So the consequences will be more traditional, such as probably expulsion of diplomats, pressure on specific officials through sanctions, more pushback on various policy areas where there might have been agreement before. It's that sort of thing, I think. The United States is not going to have a nuclear exchange with Russia because Russia has done some intelligence operations.
OK, Glenn Carle, former US intelligence officer, joining us live there from Boston. Thanks so much.